Hello everyone, this is Julia. Thank you so much for joining me on my craft room adventures. Today I have another Challenge a Crafty Friend card to share with you. My friend Leanne and I decided to make a slimline card using the Mama Elephant Wish Upon a Star stamp set. And this is what I came up with. I started by stamping out all of my images onto Neenah Solar White cardstock, and I used my brother's scan and cut to cut them out. And now I'm just coloring them in using Copic Markers. First, for the clouds, I'm using RV10 as my darkest shade, then RV000, and then RV0 to blend that out. I did realize that it was still a bit too light at the end, so I will be going in with some different shades, but you'll see that here in a minute. I'm just using the blender to blend that out. I'm laying down the RV10 just around the perimeter of the moon. Just going in with the second layer of the RV10 and the RV000. And then blending that out with a 000. You can't really tell on screen. In person it was even a little bit more bubblegummy pastel pink, which didn't really work for the background that I was using. I'm not too happy with the colors I ended up using either, but I didn't have the right shade of pinkish purple to work with it, so I do think this works out fine. For the stars, I'm using R85, R81, and RV000. And now I'm just adding in a second layer of more of a dusty purple, pink purple with the RV32 and RV11, because initially I intended to use what was it called? Victorian Velvet on my background, but that didn't end up working out, so the colors don't quite match with the background, but I still think it works, kind of. Next time I'll choose a different color. Going in with the same RV11 just to make sure that they're all cohesive for the little clouds. Sorry, I'm a little bit almost out of frame there. Just using the RV32 and RV11 on the stars as well. For my bunnies, I'm using E50 markers. I just colored the little fishing rod for the star in E55. And then for the bunnies, I'm using E53, E51, and E50. I'm just laying in the E53 as my darkest shade, just where I think the shadows would look nice. I don't really pay that much attention to light source because, quite frankly, I have no idea. So I'm just, having some light and some dark areas. I would like to learn, but at this point, I'm just happy when there's a bit of a nice fade between the colors. Just blending that out with the E51, going in with the second layer, E53, then with the E51, and then blending all of the light areas with the E50. Off camera, I will also be adding a little bit of blush to the cheeks of my bunnies. I die cut a piece of Bristol smooth cardstock to 3.5 by 3.25 by 8.5. A slimline card base, basically. And I'm just using Victorian velvet, blending it all over the background. And I intended to fade it into milled lavender with a little bit of black soot for a night sky, but in a minute you'll see me switching that up when I see that the Victorian velvet doesn't work quite that well with the milled lavender. Here I'm just going in with the milled lavender from below. And you can see here that the milled lavender is really purple and the other one is just way too pink to get a nice fade. At least I couldn't. I tried for a bit, but I end up going in with Dusty Concord just over top of the Victorian velvet, which ends up working much better. I just kept blending the colors back and forth, but just didn't look right. So here we go with a Dusty Concord. Just blending that over top, and immediately that's a much better fit. Layering some more black soot over top. And then going in with the milled lavender just to blend it all out. Now I wanted to add some sparkle to the background, so I'm using the Coliro or Finetech Pearl colors and the color Sterling Silver. And I will also be adding a little bit of the Ink on 3 liquid pixie dust, just diluted down with some water. Just wiping off my brush off to the side, and then I'm going in with the liquid pixie dust for some more sparkle. Off camera, I die cut 2 little cloud borders with the Lawn Fawn Puffy Cloud border dies, and on the lowest one I'm heat embossing the sentiment from the stamp set, Make a Wish Upon the Brightest Star, which I think is really pretty, and I will just be heat embossing that in silver. I just stamped it in some Versamark ink the first time. It didn't ink up properly, so I restamped it. And now I'm just taking my Ranger embossing powder in silver in the super fine version. Off to the side, my heat gun was already heating up, and I'm just using a brush to take off any stray embossing powder. And now I'm just heating it up until it's smooth and melted. Now I wanted to layer some clouds on my background, so I die cut the Mama Elephant Puffy Clouds, and I die cut them from white cardstock and also from vellum, and I'm just layering them with some liquid glue, just for some added interest. I die cut a few more, just different sizes, because I didn't exactly know what my scene would end up looking. So I will be adding in one tiny one as well, so I just have those die cut off to the side. Now I'm just adding the clouds to my panel. I adhered the back cloud border just flat and used some foam tape for a little bit of dimension on the lowest one, and I also ink blended that with a tiny bit of the milled lavender just to make it all match. Now I'm layering in my clouds, just figuring out where they would look best. And I'm just using liquid glue to place them down. Just using an acrylic block to hold it down, but then I decided I did one of the tiny ones up top, just as a backing for the image that will go up there. And I'm placing the little critters onto my scene. I backed them with some foam tape, just for a dimension. Just laying them down lightly because I had already peeled up the backing paper so that I could still move them. And once I was happy with the placement, I just pressed them down. Now I'm using lots and lots of the Nuvo Shimmer pen in the Nuvo Aqua Shimmer pen and glitter gloss, it's what it's called. Also running that along the colored cloud and the star, or the stars. And I will be also using some unicorn stickles just on those little stars for some more glitter. And that finishes off my card for today. I really hope you enjoyed this one. I will link to Leanne's video for her challenge card down below, so please go check her out. I'm sure her card will be amazing, because we do keep it a secret, so I don't know what she's made until we post. So it's always really, really fun. Thank you so much for watching. On screen I will link to 2 more videos that may interest you. I would love it if you would consider subscribing to my channel for more crafty videos. I do have quite a lot coming up. Thank you so much again. Have a wonderful day. Bye!